What's going on YouTube? It's Josh, aka Sloshy Joshy, bringing you another YouTube video. No mock draft today, but this weekend we are going to do the top 5 running backs to avoid and top 5 running backs to, top 5 sleeper running backs to get. Thank you guys for your support on the videos lately. I really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button to get notified every time I upload. And like the video, it really helps the channel out. So I appreciate all the feedback I get, all the comments, all the likes, everything like that. Except for that one person that unliked my video, I'm coming for you. All right, let's get into the list. So at number 1, this is a guy I was kind of higher on early in the offseason, but I had him last year. He was a rookie. He actually did really well, kind of under the radar well. And he was splitting carries with Adrian Peterson and Kerryon Johnson. So I think he has pretty good potential this year, but they brought in someone else in the coaches' comments lately. So number 1 is DAndre Swift of the Detroit Lions. I see him going late second, sometimes early second. Just depends on the draft, really. Sometimes in the third, but I don't know. I think there's better running backs at that position to draft than DAndre Swift. I think he's getting drafted a little too high. Dan Campbell, the head coach, came out I think a couple of weeks ago and said that they're basically going to feed the hot hand like per game. So that kind of makes you nervous as a fantasy owner. You know, if DAndre Swift gets stuffed like 2 drives in a row, then they're going to put Jamal Williams in, and Jamal Williams starts getting 5-yard gains. You probably won't get many points from DAndre Swift that week. So that does kind of make me nervous. I mean, running back by committees are becoming more popular in the NFL. So fantasy football running backs are becoming harder to draft because of that. But this one's a little nerve-wracking because Jamal Williams can ball, man. That's not a bad RB2. He did really well with Aaron Jones on the Packers. So I see him competing with DAndre Swift for snaps. And actually, Jamal Williams would probably be a good bench running back for you to have to just plop on the bench. Because you never know. DAndre Swift did get injured a little bit last year, so there's some injury concerns. Jamal Williams would be a nice running back if DAndre Swift went down, but DAndre Swift has a ton of potential. I'm not saying don't draft him at all. I'm saying calm down on him a bit, maybe later, 4th, 5th round running back, 6th round, something like that. But I would not be comfortable if he was my RB2 this year. On top of, I think he has groin injuries right now. So that's another red flag, man. Groin injuries linger, dude, all year. Groin injuries, turf toe injuries, that shit sticks with you throughout all 17 games. So that's another red flag for me. So DAndre Swift is my number 1 running back to calm down on. Yeah. And then at number 2 is Travis Etienne. So rookie running backs are always a gamble, right? I think Najee Harris is pretty concrete as the starter in Pittsburgh. So I don't see any red flags there. But Etienne is an interesting one because they had a rookie running back called named James Robinson last year, who really hit his stride right early. He was a beast last year as a rookie. Had 1,000 yards, close to 10 touchdowns, maybe 10 touchdowns. I don't know. But he balled out, right? So now you bring in a guy like Etienne. And I see this guy going over James Robinson, which I think is pretty crazy because I think James Robinson's the runner, the favorite back there. I think they brought in Etienne for Trevor Lawrence, some familiarity there. And then I think he has better hands and is probably a better route runner and catcher than James Robinson. So maybe a little 3rd down back action. In PPR, that could be good, though. I'm not saying don't draft this guy altogether. Again, this is not a list of don't draft these guys. This is kind of they're just being drafted a little too high in my eyes. Etienne, we've never seen him play, right, in the NFL. That's the thing about the rookies. You've never seen him play. James Robinson, I think, averaged like 4 or 5 yards a carry last year, something crazy like that. I could be totally wrong. But Etienne is drawing a little red flag. I would go James Robinson over Etienne for sure. The explosiveness there, I get the electricity behind him, the excitement, but I'm not getting him as early as I'm seeing him go in like the 3rd round. Maybe I'll wait on him. Najee Harris is really my only rookie running back I'm like completely sold to draft with my first 3-round picks. But let me know what you guys think about that one. All right, and coming in at the number 3 spot, we have a guy I've had the last 2 years in fantasy. Took a chance on him both. I really liked his play style, but did not pan out both years. So this is Miles Sanders of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they want him to be their freaking bell cow so bad. He went to Penn State. They're like, oh, he's like Saquon Barkley. We got to get him there. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's that guy. He's a very average running back, I think. Nothing special. The dude, yeah, I've had him both years in fantasy. He's underperformed. He's been injured a lot. And I see this guy going in like the 3rd round again, 2nd round, 3rd round, and I'm like, yeesh, because I made that mistake. I've gotten him in the 2nd or 3rd round both years, I think, and it just hasn't panned out because I was on the train. I was like, damn, Miles Sanders is going to be a beast. He can catch a little, he can run a little, but it's not happening, man. It's not. I don't know what the Eagles are, if they're using him wrong or what, but I'm avoiding him this year. Just like I always say in my mock drafts, I avoid Joe Mixon just because I've had bad luck with him, man. If you've had bad luck with people in the past, and don't draft them, just don't get them. It's up to you, man. It's all personal preference, right? So Miles Sanders is on my list. Don't think he's poised to be that guy that Philly thinks he is, and I'm avoiding him this year for shout. The next running back on my list, number 4 is James Conner of the Arizona Cardinals now. Very injury prone. That's my first red flag. I had him a couple years ago, and he didn't play a game for me, I don't think, after I had traded for him, and he got injured like in training camp or some BS that, always happens when you trade for a guy that's doing well that year. But Arizona Cardinals, new home. I don't see him beating out Chase Edmonds for the 1. I think Chase Edmonds is actually doing pretty well there. Last year, I know he did well. And Chase Edmonds can do it all, too. He's a runner. He's a great receiving running back as well. So I don't really see a place for James Conner. Just, I think his place is when Chase Edmonds needs a break, like, for fresh legs every once in a while. But I don't think James Conner gets the workload people are expecting. And I don't think he's going to be the RB1. I think Chase Edmonds has that pretty locked. So, yeah, not high on James Conner. Plus, he gets injured all the time, man. I don't think I'm going to draft him this year. I'm kind of avoiding him. Maybe a bench running back, pretty deep. But James Conner is not high on my list at all this year. And last but not least, this guy gets shoved down our throat every fantasy offseason, I feel like. It's David Johnson. This guy hasn't been good since, I want to say 4 years ago. 3-4 years ago, maybe, on the Cardinals. He's not good, man. He's old. He's been injured too many times. Too many ankle injuries. Too many toe injuries. Too many all that stuff. And every year they're like, "Oh, David Johnson is starting. He's gonna be back to his prime form." And I'm not buying it every year. And every year he doesn't live up to it. So, plus he's on the Texans. I mean, dude, the Texans. I'm very hesitant to draft anyone from that team this year. I think they're gonna be a dumpster fire. Not really. They don't know who the quarterback is. Brandon Cooks, I think, is a wide receiver on the team. I can't really name any other ones. Yep, that's it. David Johnson, not looking good, man. The Texans are kind of selling everyone. They're kind of building from scratch. They're trying to get Deshaun Watson to stay, but I don't know if he wants to. David Johnson not going to live up to the hype again. He's probably in his last couple years in the NFL, I would guess. So I'm staying away from him this fantasy football season. And that actually does it for the video. Let me know what you guys think. If you disagree with any of my takes, if you agree with any of them, I like those better because, it's more, I don't know, but I really appreciate all the feedback you guys have been doing, likes, subscribing, comments, all that. So leave a like on this video, subscribe, comment. Running backs to draft coming tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.